Okay, welcome to the circus. Align with me. I'm Johnny. I have clickbaited you. I have clickbaited you. Um, and you're gonna be, oh my god, you can't believe you're saying all that. Chill, okay? Chill. I do not know that I am Jesus. Um, I do have two souls, two lives that I've had, and I know about those. There's Rebecca from the Old Testament is one of my lives, and a British man, um, white man from the 1900s. I barely know anything about those. There is a window that is very possible that I was Jesus, but there's literally no way for anyone to know that I was Jesus. But now you can, there's like literally any possibility. I don't, I like some things that Jesus did, and I don't like all of them. So we're gonna talk about Jesus. I have a lot of things to say about everything. I am asking you to question your own faith for all of that stuff. And if you're like, oh, I don't want to, like, it's a little bit much, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. You could do that. I grew up Mormon until I'm like 20. So I very much so Mormonism is Christianity on steroids. And yeah, it is a cult. Um but so are most religions. They're syndicates and they're really controlling. So I can't really say that it's any single one of you is better than the other. You're all kind of bad. Um if it makes you feel like a better person and your life is better, I don't want you to have to leave it unless you're ready to move on without your religion. That doesn't matter to me, man. It's your life. It is your life. I know I'm towards my end of my human lives on earth. So I'm going my soul has always wanted to break shit down. Break down all the systems, and then from the very foundation we figure something out. So it would make sense that I possibly was Jesus, but I'm not going to. I literally didn't have a dream about that, so it's not all the way relevant, but it is relevant because it's been so ingrained for everything in America and specifically how I was raised. So I don't know. I gotta focus on Jesus for one time. One time. I don't want to do this every fucking time. Because I've got the religious trauma that I'm also doing. I have a lot of trauma on various things, and so I don't want to always do this. I might when I deal with a lawyer, but you won't know about this until a while. Um, the I want to question about what we have in America, and if this gets big enough, it should be able to spread to other, oh my god, other globes, other countries around the globe. Um, we're gonna first start question what we have with Christianity itself. Just so you know, your Bible, your shit, is from King James. Your book was translated from a white rich man. And we literally have people have said, actually, that's a mistranslation for when they said it was man with man, it's actually pedophilia. The real translation is to not lay with another child. And they were like, oh, what? No, come on, not that one. We literally know that they have included their agenda into the Bible that you've been having this whole time. I want you to know that what we have as the Bible is the Torah from Judaism. So you are a whitewashed Jewishness. So you just took something, us as white people, we've taken that from um, Judaism and then just said however you want to say for that specific thing, and that's what you're getting with King James translation. Um, you will have to question, what did we get, what did we not, and the cultural differences. If I get an English translation from a Japanese book, then there are things that are going to be changed so that something that we can understand in our English culture than things that occur in Japan. So, yes, it is very possible that what you know of the Bible is in question. And it's been so very long, it's been kept and kept and kept for all of these British people and colonizers. Because, oh, what do we know? Colonizers, they steal stuff. They steal stuff a lot. They steal cultures, they steal objects, they steal wisdom. So your Bible knowledge is very limited and very specific based on King James and those who value it from what King James, which is a rich man who controls people, into what we get as it waters down, trickles down to where we are now. America is full of horrible things going on. The way that they did with the watered down Judaism was with the Crusaders. And then we come over here into America. Guess what they also used it for? Slavery. Even though the Bible says you have the Old Testament, you have the New Testament. Jesus comes in and he goes, "Oh, fuck that. Your Old Testament, put that fuck away, because here I come over here and I'm going to teach you all of this stuff." He does this whole thing based on all of this to change about what people knew at that point. And yet, a lot of people still use the Old Testament. The point of Jesus to have all of this is to have people go with the times. You change as humans. So part of the change that Jesus taught for many, many times, it was with the way things were and changing some of it. It is very not Jesus to accept what he said 2,000 years ago from a white man's translation that you've kept for 2,000 years. That's not what Jesus would actually want. He would be like, what the fuck? Why would you still say all of that when look at all these changes over this time? And you're still going to take my stuff now? Now? Um, everything we have from all of this is we have a lot of fathers, our priests, our pastors, our popes that ultimately they make you rely on them instead of your connection to a God. Jesus didn't Jesus said follow me based on the changes that he was doing. His whole thing, I do want to talk to you about his whole life, sort of. I haven't read that in so long. I do still remember things about that. I probably did read it more than the average person because Mormonism. I haven't remembered all of it because I'm disabled, so my brain has been developing since until almost now. So a lot of things I've forgotten, but things are important and I've kept certain of those, but I've realized problems that it was. So we're going to question Jesus, which is exactly what Jesus would want, okay? Let's be real. Jesus would be like, "You're going to take everything I've said and not going to even question because it's been 2,000 years?" No, that's not how that would be. He would have said, "Oh, thank God somebody's going to talk about the way we can change and adapt." I want you to remember there is people predicted his birth. They murdered a bunch of kids, a bunch of toddlers and babies to make sure that the way Jesus was from, they anticipated his birth. They anticipated the change of the state. So the state did kill a bunch of kids and still killed him once he came alive. So I want you to remember the culture that he was born in is extreme than what we have right now. I will explain a bunch of other stuff. You need to be patient. Um we're going to talk most of this stuff for everything that he's done, and I want you to know he has to the way that he has changed from his culture then is subjective. The only positivity that he could have is to reject the things that were from then, and that means that he could not fathom a better future than he had right then. So everything he said was to respond to what happened in 2000 years old. He was changing things the way they were, and that's why he was murdered. So the things that he taught is not always enough. Um so we're going to get all the way, so we know where he's from. Let's get to his actual mother, and we're going to talk about that. Virgin Mary. So your knowledge about this is from the King James, that I think is far too literal than I believe that it would have been. We have had so much change as humans with knowledge, advancement, awareness of a lot of things that it is astonishing that we still believe the same way of literal faith that they had then versus what we know now. The Virgin Mary, there is no physical God because we know the soul goes somewhere. So our little bodies can only be piloted from a soul. So we go somewhere. We have a part of us that goes into the space that is not our physical body. Our physical body stays here on Earth. There is no space God. There's no space human who can come over here and impregnate a woman. The Virgin Mary is probably a young woman or a child. They always said young woman. Young woman means a child that they want to lust anyway. So we'll just call her a kid because she's probably like 14 or something around that, where it would be rare for her to have had those type of things. I don't think that I think that the reason why they would call her a virgin is because she's a child. I think that when you're an adult, it doesn't hold the same weight that we did. And let's just think about this. The virginity is also King James thing. So it's all white stuff. So I don't even know how that is part of Judaism, okay? Officially, I don't know that. I don't know how that was when that was, or I don't remember it if I was there. I don't know. Um Probably what they were saying is that she was raped as a child, which I wouldn't even always pedophilia is a term. I'd rather just say child raper I would call not a rapist because we've got artists, therapists. No, that's a skill. We're just going to go with rapers, okay? So, as the Virgin Mary, it's probably really what happened is that she was raped as a child and then she gained the pregnancy. They all predicted this type of thing. Um, or 14, that's the other thing. As a child, we already know that um, the early period starting is too early than we are used to as humans. This is more of a modern thing that's happening now based on industrialization. So the Virgin Mary, you are thinking of her as someone who has a period. That's what we have right now for all of the stress for the society we have now. That's rare. Women didn't start their periods until around 17, 18, or 20, until we come over here and it starts going earlier and earlier based on society. You want to come in? Hey, hold on. I'm still talking to y'all. You want to come inside? But I'm talking. Come on in. You drink water, okay? Drink water and then I'm going to let you back out. No, I'm not giving you sauce yet. Drink water. So we have, I'm not doing it yet. Drink water, eat food, and then I will give you some later. You like being out here so much. You like being outside. I know. He wants to be involved. Hi cutie. Yeah. So the Virgin Mary, so we know that as a child it's rare to have a period. Whatever time that was, from 17 or earlier, that's what we would think. It's fucking rare. That's why she's the Virgin Mary. So she's a rapist. She's a rape survivor and a child rape survivor. So, the prediction that they were using of a prophecy, they have anticipating this type of thing. Of course, it would make sense that she goes, "Oh, I got this horrible thing happen to me. I got the rarity, the fucking pregnancy. Of course, I'm gonna use my true trauma as a point for the things we want to do for change in the society we have right now." Um, I have things like that happening in my life, and I still want to have, oh, this is horrible. I don't want to have to do that for nothing. I would like to use it for other things I can do with that, which to her, it would make sense to let yourself have a demigod. It's easier to understand because it's a rarity. So that will have problems that she is um almost glorifying her own trauma, and you don't think that's going to affect what he did as a baby. So people anticipated him drastically. You know, the wise kings who come over to him, they see the star that's telling them about them, which means they also knew about a little bit of astrology. Okay? Um they anticipated these types of things. That doesn't mean that it was fucking perfect though. I want to say that the wisdom that I have in my life right now is from trauma. And for the true wisdom we get from a lot of people, most of it is from actually a lot of fucked up shit. To know all of this stuff, and a lot of people use their wisdom to make it worth it for whatever trauma is there. So I recognize that for Virgin Mary and little Jesus, okay? Little Jesus, and also let's remember she would have been murdered. Uh Virgin Mary would have been murdered if she was an adult, and the only way for her to stay alive is to say that it's from God. So otherwise she'd be stoned to death even as a child, having had been raped. So the state didn't really give a shit, okay? The state didn't want to change things, but with the whole prophet, are you ready to go back outside? Hey, are you going outside? I'm not giving you treats yet. You're not getting it yet. You wait until later. Um yeah, hi handsome. I want to get to everything I want to say. And it's taking a fucking while. Anyway, yeah. So, I'll let you back out if you drink water. It's hard. To let's just drink back out. Back out. Have fun. Did you drink water? No, I'm not done. Come back out. Go back out. Okay, have fun. Um, don't bitch about me having my cat outside. He knows how to take care of himself, and he wasn't immediately an outdoor cat. We have a little bit of a pond. He plays. It's not. He didn't bring me any rats, or he doesn't bring me any birds. Whatever, man. So the one who took Mary is a good and a bad man. Um, I can't be sure. So I assume Mary's a kid. I assume Joseph is taking care of her. I can't assume that he's not also raping her. All right, I'll be real. I don't fucking know that. It would be great if he didn't. And I want to hope that he was very good and didn't rape her because of the prophecy. But I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm from white Christianity, which is a lot of bullshit going on. So I don't know how much people are great as what they say they are. Okay. Um, Joseph is a carpenter. Um, they probably Joseph and Mary probably taught Jesus about the prophecy to make his life worth it, to maintain all of this. And Joseph did start just like they didn't know what Jesus would say. They didn't know what he was going to teach. They knew he was going to change things. They didn't even know that. Um, I think it makes sense that Jesus would question humanity and learn about the behavior based on how he was raised, because his it's like a teen mom but probably younger, and she's probably barely she's also a kid and probably not a very aware a woman, a mother who knows about being an adult. She's early, and so I don't know how much of a good mother she was, um because she didn't deserve to have to be a kid, having a child. It sucks. And Joseph, um I don't know him that well. I don't know what the fuck Joseph did except for was a carpenter and was being a respectful dude who took a kid with a pregnancy. So that's really nice, I guess. And he probably did more of the adult things for a while, which would be housing and that type of stuff, and probably why he was still using his job as a carpenter, because ain't nothing was gonna happen with a teen mom. Um, and Jesus started learning about carpentry very soon. And when he was learning with his dad, when he's 12, is when he really starts speaking and teaching people. The wisdom that Jesus has is probably from the state that he's lived in and the trauma of his parents. Um, there is no space god. He has parents right here and right now. And it's fucked up if we're even talking about that. That's fucked up. So when you grow up in trauma, you try and use it for as much wisdom as you can get if you're trying to optimize as a human. So yeah, Jesus is probably saying like, "Oh, here's this and that." So before he was a famous speaker, he's just a kid who's pretty fucking brilliant and he's a little genius. So the things that he's genius about is for his state, the way things are right now. He's going to change things based on, oh shit, that's fucked up. Oh shit, my parents are fucked up. Oh shit, they would kill those ladies. Oh shit. You're kind of realizing, oh man, all this shit would have been way different than it should be. My mom would have been murdered because she's a woman, and the child raper would have gone scot free. That's crazy. And they tried to kill all these kids because they anticipated me. They also knew that. That's fucked up. Of course, he's going to question everything because look at where he's from. That's so fucked up. That's really fucked up. Jesus is appreciating this. Okay, I don't know if it's my soul or somebody else's. Listen, Jesus, that was fucked up, and at least I'm giving you that honor. We know that Jesus would have had a skill, the carpentry. He would have had a job. He would have had the same, and it's a more wealthy job to make carpentry. That stuff is like, you can sell it pretty fucking well, and then it's a valued skill. He was like, oh, fuck that. That is not enough. Look at, why would I keep going along this state of bullshit and then just have a kind of rich life? Like, bougie for what? He starts doing more stuff with his communism first and foremost. Um, the communism before communism, okay? Um, he more is starting to think about, I don't need to have a house because people get um more controlled about their possessions. He was like, oh man, which means the more comfy they are at their houses, the less likely are they to give a shit about other people. So he was like, okay, we're going to change things. That means their house is not what we want. I can sleep, I can join, and people can share and help me things um, as I meet with them along my way, because he's more of like walking around, like, here, listen to me. I'm going to talk with people. His whole thing mostly is to communicate and to teach people and make them question of the way things were. Um, and because of that, he would ask for, give me food, give me housing, give me the clothing that I may need, and that's all I need. I just need my basics as I continue as my change of everything. Some people would be like, oh, that's so cool. You would have disciples at some point where they would just say, okay, I don't need that either. I will follow you. That's what his whole thing. You don't need your house. It's how people are so they're so comfy into all of those things. And we want things to go around. The more people are sharing others, the more we open our mind for fellow human beings, and that's a big thing that Jesus did. Not everything Jesus did was good, but that is a huge theme of his education from them, for the way he taught about people. So don't ever start and say, oh. If you're thinking about going against communism, then you don't believe in Jesus for the same way that you believe Jesus now. If you want to do Jesus exactly as the book, that means you better be a communist, because that's how his shit was, okay? Oh, but you're questioning him. That's what I'm saying. Question it all. I want to talk about man. I also want to talk about his miracles. We are talking about, it's more of witchcraft than it is a physical, literal cure or a miracle. Okay. Um, what we know as humans now, after 2,000 years, okay, we have learned so much about human bodies. Okay, we have studied so much shit that the things that we're thinking was literal, we can refute this right now. Witchcraft is not okay. Do you want to come in? All right. So I'll keep talking. Hold on. I'm closing the door. You're so funny. Come on in. You have to wait though. Drink water. Let me finish talking, and then I will give you your treat. You have to wait. um. Yeah, I take time. Time is a capitalism make you think you don't have any time. I want you to know about time. Dude, you're killing me. Um, fuck. So witches are good, okay? For the most time, everyone has the ability of being psychic in some way. Physically, in our bodies, it's possible. You have your soul, which is for the cosmos. Everyone has the possibility of know those things and try everything that they want to do. Whether you know that or not, your physical abilities, your psychic abilities, all that type of thing is based on our brain and on our soul, and anything is possible. Oh, witches are bad. Witches from the Salem trials is from women trying to take property from dead husbands. So everything you know is based on just patriarchy. Fine, if you're going to open that, I'm going to let you out again. I'm talking. Can you be nice, please? Um, he's kicking my ass. Can you just stay out? Okay, you're going out. You go out. Have fun, okay? Oh my god. You're killing me. I'll give you a treat once I'm done talking, okay? I'll take a break. I want to finish this about Jesus. Let me finish Jesus. Hey, Carl! Man, I will give you a treat. You have to wait. Damn. Cats are witches too. And he's not even listening to me. Fucking damn it. This is long. Okay. So what we know about witches is a scam anyway from the white Christianity, where they also want to control people, and it's very easy to do it with women. Blah blah blah. It's easy. We already know that. Okay. Uh fuck, that's the wrong one. So I want you to know that what Jesus did was from the things that he thought was possible. And then, because of how cool he is and brilliant he is, people are like, oh shit, that's totally possible. We have learned that when we don't trust our life, we don't trust the way things are, our body hates us. We can feel the trauma in our bodies and it gives us pain, okay? Of course, it's possible that the way Jesus cured people is based on things that they would have been like, okay, if I believe in this, then I will have no pain. And this guy's a brilliant person, and we're supposed to follow him, and I'll just do that for the cures that I'm going for. The things that he does is also not as literal as you think. People believe in it. Um, and then when you're having the sermon with the fish and bread, we think it's so literal that he made more with nothing, and that's silly. People could probably just be like, "Oh, you either have people bring more fish and bread, like the average person, or people were like, okay, I didn't even need that much, and they use the tiniest little piece and pass around because they were so appreciating everything going on that they could be like, oh, I didn't even need. I'm not even that hungry because you're enthralled into the sermon. So if you're thinking he physically did that miracle, then you're not realizing what we have this far as humans. And that also includes with all the cures and Lazarus. We have seen people survive from near death experiences and lack of people survive even without CPR or with limited CPR. We have the access of emergency ambulances, and people do CPR on these people. And sometimes because they're all of our knowledge and wisdom about anatomy and medicine, that is racism and sexism. So sometimes because of not using as much CPR for black, brown, and femme people, mostly black and brown, those people survive because they weren't actually ready to die. We just didn't resuscitate as much. People have done the same thing that what Lazarus has done now. Um, I'm from someone who is a near death experience. I was a 50-50 induced coma from my brain surgery. But no one's questioning this because of the knowledge and advancement that we've had this far. The things that, and people are still possible of surviving all of this type of stuff. So yeah, Lazarus, who was there for the weekend, if I didn't, they didn't know about rigor mortis, so they wouldn't know if he's specifically dead. I don't know how much they know about death and how much do they know about the possibility of people to live. Lazarus probably wasn't even fully dead. And sometimes we already know that people have NDE where they almost go to the, you know, tunnel at the light at the tunnel. Sometimes people do that and then they come back. And now we know about that. So why are we questioning? We're thinking this as a very literal miracle, which we know happened now. So stop questioning it as much and or please question it. Don't take it so literal. Lazarus probably, I don't even know what Lazarus died, okay? But this bitch survived. End of that. The wine could just be, oh, they never said it was the color of wine. They just said it was wine. If he goes, I can turn it to wine, and then people, they believe him, of course, they could go, holy shit, this tastes like wine. And it's still going to look like fucking water because we know that people we know there's a DID, there's a person who has DID. One of their altars has type 1 diabetes. Okay, so within our mind, We can physically make everything possible. If someone can turn that to their body, yeah, of course, our brain can read it as wine for just water because you're believing all of this type of stuff. So DID is proving that all of that's fucking possible because everything has changed so much from all of this. And then Jesus got fucking murdered. Let's talk about his death too. So everything he says is really good. Oh wait, no, let me tell you about this. Before he dies, I want to talk about some of the things that he does. He does great things, and some of it isn't as good as we want for right now. Things that I question is number one, he says this to a sex worker. He goes, um, well, I don't know exactly what he fucking says, but he says, just listen to God, follow me, and don't work like that anymore. Um, that's harder to say to women who have no support in the entire world. And that guy is like, this guy has no money. Jesus has no money. He's a communist. And he's just like, follow me and do it no more. And that's not how you're going to solve all of this, okay? Um, so to have her to just like stop, like, dude, that was her survival thing. So I don't know how much you're going to say. It's more of a, if she figures it out, sure, but um it's just her, but you're not doing that to the men who are paying her. Do you know what I mean? So you're not getting to the right thing. Like if nobody paid for her, she'd be fine. But you're living in a state like that. So there's that. That's I question that, and the things he says is turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek is something that he needed to say at the time that it was, because people would go for eye for the an eye for an eye. So if you steal something, they'd cut your fucking arm. They'd cut off a hand. It was very physical. It was very violent. And so he would try, so people already knew to live on revenge and get a very exact result of all of these type of things. So in his state, it was, if this man fucks me over, then I'm gonna fuck him over the same way or worse. So he's coming over to them and saying, turn the other cheek, because they were very used to exacting everything. Where somebody did something, therefore they must get other things. So he's saying, stop being an asshole, stop going so full of revenge, and turn the other cheek, because the things that they were for is not that fucking bad. They did it for simple stuff like theft. You know what I mean? It doesn't apply to right now because we've learned so much in the 2000 years that people can still protect ourselves, because we have a lot of issues going on for everything. So the turn the other cheek is an old thing that they were trying to do from revenge. We don't have the same level of revenge, of exact physical change, of physical violence. It's more of a, oh shit, it's more of like petty stuff. Like literally like, oh, this one fucked me over, so I'm going to do it, but it's not literal. It's not cutting your hands. It's, I'm going to go fuck your wife. I'm going to go do something to your boss, stuff like that. It's not what they're used to in the 2000-year-old stuff and the Old Testament stuff. So the things that he taught about certain of these things, it doesn't hold where we are now, because we've learned so much. So with that going on, and that's why Jesus, he goes, he dies, and he survives. You call this as a resurrection, like they did for Lazarus, because they didn't know that humans can still survive a lot. We know that from his wrist, he got um, nails for around here. So he got nails there, which is not, you can't die of blood loss from that. And then their ankle. That one, I don't even know either. If it's not direct on the vein, um, then it's possible that he didn't even get blood loss the same way that we anticipate. So then when he passed out based on torture and pain and excruciation. So he passed out. So they're like, oh, okay. Then we'll just take him and put something in a spear to his side. With that, the way they usually did that is also his guts. It's either on top of his guts or inside his guts. We know from now that gut wounds take hours to die from. Even if it's from this one and all the way through and pulling right back out, we know that people can hold their bowels, their innards, and then they can hold it and get to the hospital and still get stitched up. So even those things Jesus could have healed from. They put him in the hey, what's up? Hope you did a good job. Hope you had a good time. Did they cut you?
Nope. Say it's eczema.
It's just eczema?
Not just eczema necessarily. She said she wants me to treat the eczema
with coconut oil.
Well, no.
Oh.
I have to get a prescription. It's not ready. So treat that and go back in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. Okay. Use coconut oil. That's better than the whatever they're giving you. All right. Okay. And then with so with his wounds and when they laid him down into his tomb, I can't even be sure that nobody visited him. It's possible that people, they said that like they rolled it in and then that they had guards there. Okay. If that's true, sure. Then nobody visited him. But that does mean that they never saw anything about this. If he comes to it, he goes, oh shit. They stabbed me 5 times and I got a bunch of wounds. If Jesus has been healing everyone and curing everyone based on their own thoughts and resurrecting Lazarus, why the hell would that not apply to him? He knew he was going to be murdered anyway. Of course, he can also hold on to his belief that he's a demigod, and he believes that he has the possibility of curing his own self. So with Jesus holding all of those wounds, he could probably just be like, oh, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to go treat for it. It's because nobody's going to visit him. Oh, they fucking said that he died. No. Here's what they did. They close it for 3 days. So he's comatose when they open it. And then people come and they cry about him. Dude, you don't think these bitches would try and heal him? You don't think people come over here and try and like, oh, I'm sure Jesus can do it. And then they'll start and like maybe stitching some stuff up. Maybe they'll give some balms. Maybe they add some ointments to see how far he goes. They know he's dead, but they literally just saw Lazarus survive just from what the belief is. And so if people are like, oh, I don't have leprosy, I don't have blindness, I don't have this, of course it's possible that Jesus can do that. If Jesus was healing for the 3 days and then they go and they see him and he's like, oh, he might also be dead, They're still going to hope for him. And with all of those collective belief that, oh man, he can't die because he healed us so much, and they have a lot of they have the honor about him and the belief that, oh man, he's possible. Yeah, it makes sense that, oh, and then after that he comes back from his resurrection, and he has been healing enough that people would be like, holy shit, he's healing. They would say that he has resurrected, and you think it's literal that he comes back without any wounds. It's more of a wholly healed scar. But no, people would be like, oh shit, it's healing right now. And they would be like, dude, he's healing. So yeah, Jesus comes back from God. That's more of your inner self and everyone else's support and belief. So yeah, Jesus totally is a witch in the best way possible because witches are great. People with witchcraft is about what they believe for optimism, hope, and positivity. There are sometimes people who still try and use that for negative things, and maybe I'll talk about that. I don't know. Right now, it's very possible to do incredible things for believing more than it is, and that's the point of faith, to believe it all to work and to make shit going on good. So, this is a long ass video. It is what it is. You're questioning everything, and I want you to think about, first of all, Jesus was where he was in a country, okay? So it is a country. They don't have as much humans as we have right now. There's a lot of humans right now. We have Jesus even had disciples, and I want you to know that modern, with all the things we have now, there are so many speakers. We have not just one Jesus, we have almost like hundreds. There's a lot of people with a lot of hope, a lot of change, a lot of ideas, a lot of incredible things going on right now. And any of those could have been Jesus. There's no physical body. Oh shit. Here's what I think. Jesus heals this. He goes, fuck that. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to go live my life. I taught what you guys needed to know in the 3 years that I was there or whatever. And then I'm going to go live my life in the most peaceful, harmonious way possible. And then I die. So Jesus is like, I said what I said. I taught the way I did. Now it's up to you guys to clean this shit up in your country and fix it. And then I'm moving on to whatever I want to do. I relate to that a lot because I grew up. I have a Jesus middle name about Jesus. So whoops. Um, I relate to that. They raised me for more of the um um religion and faith and all of that, and they didn't anticipate that I would change that too, but um I don't want to do this forever, and so at some point I want to, this is not a career, this is a change. This is a breaking down the foundation so that we figure stuff out after that. And I'm almost done on all of this for the way things are, and then I'm moving on to the rest of my life, which will be a shitload of art. So I'm still gonna make art now. Um, but for now, I'm going to keep speaking about the incredible things that come to my mind because of my trauma, my soul, the way things are. So I want to talk about what we can do. I want you to keep questioning where you are in the world right now, why things are the way they are. Question what they have taught you for a very long time. I also accepted capitalism for a very long time. And there are videos where I'm crying about letting go of capitalism and trying things. And it's a very It's very like that until you get to the right way. So everyone has to heal from capitalism. You are not a single person and you're not like, oh man, I can't take it. That's for everyone. Everyone has been taught for this whole way of things forever, and they fucked it up with all the Christianity instead of the way things could be. Jesus wouldn't want to come back in and teach the same shit. That's not what Jesus would do. He would just be like, it would be whoever is the next life that they're at right now, and then they would change it from the way the state is right now. And so I might not be Jesus, but I am changing shit right now. And I'm not going to say go ahead around the houses, and I'm not going to go ask people to house me. I'm going to ask people to support me for me to be able to keep telling you all these incredible things and teach you about questioning where you are. And some of that is crazy shit, and some of that is simple stuff, and some of that is just hope for the best. And I think all of you can handle what you can. Not everybody has money. We know this because of all the billionaires. I am going to ask for people to support me for all of this, if they have the option. There are some people who have a lot of money from their jobs. Some people have no money from their jobs. Some people don't have any jobs. I still want everyone to question about where they are in the working class, because we want to question everything and fix things. But if you have money, we know that the billionaires never have enough money, which means what do you want to do with your money if you're rich? If you have enough money and you have nowhere to spend it with, and part of that is striking, but that means you're holding on money and it gives you nothing. You can use it to send it to me, you can use it to send it to other people, you can send it to people in your community. So I will ask for people to um I live in a fucked up house that I have mold. I have a shitload of mold. My cat is sick. My we've got roaches ever since I moved in. It's had roaches since the last time they had hoarders. Um, they've got maggots coming in from the walls because they've got dead things in the house. There's still rats. There's still mice. I still hear the rats pittering, pattering around. So, and I know that the mold is in the foundations, and I'm hearing the house creaking more than I was used to. This is old. This is from the 70s, and it's brick. And we live in the South, and there's a lot of rain, so everything is holding here in this house. I need to go somewhere. So I'm going to ask for people to support me financially so that I can live somewhere, so that I can use my brain enough and more and a lot. I feel at peace when I'm outside. I really appreciate where I am in the world right now. I don't want to go very far. I just want a house. I want to have a little bit of land that I can continue to garden and make more stuff. And the more I have the option to do that, the more ideas I can create for what I want to do. I'm not going to have it immediate, but it means that I will be thinking. Please support me for all of that. In my link tree, I have stuff on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Cash App and Venmo is Johnny Earth. And then PayPal is my old sex work username. And I still have old sex work porn and all of that. If you want to support me by that, I will not create anymore. I am literally going to be the teacher, the speaker. I'm not going to do that again. Oh, what a surprise. I grew up from trauma. Yeah, what a surprise. I'm not going to shame myself for the way things were. People are humans, okay? Um, you can pay that if you want to. I don't know what still exists because they deactivate shit on certain sites, so I don't fucking know. I'm not even dealing with the link tree. And then I have the YouTube right now, and I am not going to monetize any of this specifically. I'm not going to add for ads. I'm not going to do anything for ads because I don't believe in that. YouTube kind of sucks because it takes 30% off your tips and 50% of your ads. So nothing's really worth it. Sponsorships, I'm not even don't even touch me with that. That shit is so cheap it doesn't make any sense. I'm not doing that. If you're a sponsor person, you I'm not expecting anything under $200,000. That's like against what I believe. So if you're not gonna give me $200,000, don't even try it with your sponsors, okay? I'm asking for people to support me a little bit here and there. And the more of you guys support, the more likely I am to have a little house and starting to really garden a lot of shit. The more I garden, the more I can support for my immediate community. When I have a lot of money, then we can start and anything extra surplus I have is more of like actually what I want to optimize for what we want for the world. I have a Substack, and so I still have on YouTube the membership where you can tip me at whatever tier it is, and then you can view premieres and previews of my videos. Right now, this is a preview for people to have that. That will occur at Substack. Substack will have all of my videos are there for subscriptions. That's $10 a month because if you don't have enough $10, that's fine. It's on YouTube when it comes whatever public date I have, and you can just support in whatever way you can. Um, I appreciate the support in all of this, and I appreciate all of this. The Substack will have the videos are for subscription. Some art is for subscription, and some art is for free. And then I'm figuring out a Substack. I barely know about it. A Substack, I don't know what the fuck it's like all the way. So I'm getting used to it right now. I trust Substack more than I do for Facebook. I mean, YouTube. I don't do anything on Facebook. Fuck Facebook. Um, I'm only going to be in YouTube. I'm only going to be in Substack. I know there's not enough money the way things are. That is why I am asking you for support now. I don't want to do any marketing. I don't want to do any advertising. I don't want that. I don't believe in all of that. I think if you guys have extra dollars around, I think you can support me if you can. You're not going to get any extra awesomeness. It just means you get it early, and it just means you're supporting me so that I can keep using my brain. Um, Everything has gone the way it was. This is so fucking long, but anyway, I don't always like it this long. Jesus apparently needed to be heard a lot. Jesus, it's over an hour. This is kicking my ass. Um, so thank you so much. That's the point that Jesus would want right now is it doesn't have the way we have all this advancement is we can communicate without having to go everywhere. So with all of this communication, you can support me, you can support plenty of people around you, and you can have great ideas for where you are in the world and still communicate from everywhere all at once. And so that's why I'm asking you to support me so that we can try it right now. We're trying all of this where we have mutual aid, we have sharing, and we have services and all that type of thing for what we're going to do for our community. Where you are in the world, and if you aren't planning on moving, then it matters where you are. People matter where you are right now. So if you have a little bit of money, it's $10 a month on Substack. I love Substack because they only take 10% off my shit. Um, that's enough for a lovely thing. It looks like a fun. It looks kind of fun. It's almost like you kind of. It feels like it might be a lot more of a forum than it is for YouTube. YouTube, I will not. I will not respond on the comments. Okay, sorry, it's way too much. Okay, so I have other stuff on Linktree about other service, social medias, and all of that. But this is where I'm going to be primarily for that. I am going to do more art stuff at some point. Right now, I want to focus on the speeches that we're doing right now. Is it dark as fuck right now? Anyway, the winter. So thank you so much for listening and listening to all of this, and I'm so glad that you're ready to listen and consider everything that we have in the world right now because we're changing. We're changing. I'm not alone. I'm not alone as a speaker. There's a lot of incredible things going on Earth right now that I have so many like-minded people, and I'm amongst so many speakers and people who've already optimized their own occurrence. Um, Gwendolyn Isao, some of my speakers that I value and I appreciate are from my own YouTube playlist called My Leaders. I support people and I never feel alone and I keep all of that. I do have playlists that are fucking, they have a lot of YouTube videos and I'm going to try and limit that, but there's a lot of things you can follow for more other people and all of that. I will not shame people for the way they have their things. I just know what I want to do as my soul right now. If people have ads on where they are, that's okay. I don't need to shame anyone from all of this. I just know I would also be immediately demonetized, and I don't want YouTube to do any of this shit. So I will not monetize it because I believe in you, and YouTube is full of bitches. So we're gonna move on for all of that. The Substack is gonna be better way to get it, but thank you so much for listening, and I have another video that's coming on. I'm off in December, okay? Because it's a strike, it's a holiday strike. I'm not working. I'm not buying anything except for food, okay? Chill. I'll see you in January. And thank you very much. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for listening to all of this. Long as fuck, but had to be said. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much. Bye, y'all.